One of our nation's most credible predictors of U.S. presidential election outcomes is now saying that Kamala Harris will beat Donald Trump. Allan Lichtman, a longtime political scientist and professor at American University, has correctly predicted 9 of the last 10 presidential outcomes. He has an analysis based on several factors, and here's what he's saying about 2024.
The keys to the White House tap in to how American presidential elections really work as votes up or down on the strength and performance of the White House party. There are 13 key questions, and if 6 or more of the keys go against the White House party, they're predicted losers. That's the Democrats this time. Otherwise, they are predicted winners. And under my system, I found that at most, the Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris, is down 4 to 5 keys, which would still leave her short of the 6 keys needed to enable Donald Trump to get reelected. So based on a system that's been right for 40 years and taps into the structure of elections, I predict a path-breaking election in which we have the first woman president.
Sir, there's still 60 days left in the race. Do you think there's any room for change, especially with Harris and Trump's first debate just days away?
Well, as the great British Prime Minister Disraeli once said, finality is not a word we use in politics, but the keys are the big picture. They don't change easily. And this idea of an October surprise changing everything is a myth. I've always made my predictions before that. They haven't changed, and I don't expect this to change either, although you never know.
You never know.
You never know, says Allan Lichtman, but he knows. And again, he's been right 9 out of 10 times. The one time he was wrong was when the popular vote went the way that he predicted, but the Electoral College went a different way. And the prediction by Allan Lichtman is now being backed up by the latest polling data that's out there. The Real Clear Politics average poll has Kamala Harris plus 1.8. Real Clear Politics essentially averages the last 25 to 30 polls and comes up with this number. Here's some of the specific numbers. Emerson, Harris 49, Donald Trump 47. The margin of error is 2.8. Rasmussen Reports, which is a Republican pollster that Fox News loves to rely on, Harris 46, Donald Trump 47. The margin of error is 3, so that's statistically a dead heat. And by the way, Rasmussen Reports, it is the only poll of the last 10 to show Donald Trump winning. All the rest show Kamala Harris winning. Morning Consult, Kamala Harris 49, Donald Trump 46. The margin of error is 1, so that is outside the margin of error. I&I Tip poll, Harris 48, Trump 45. The margin of error is 2.8. ABC News, Harris 50, Donald Trump 46. And in the battleground states, Kamala Harris leads in Nevada, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia. Donald Trump leads in Arizona and North Carolina. According to the Real Clear Politics battleground average, they are tied in Pennsylvania. So that is a very different story than just a month ago, or a little bit longer than that, when President Biden was on top of the Democratic ticket. President Biden was losing in every one of the battleground states and losing outside the margin of error. Now, Kamala Harris is winning nationally outside of the margin of error in most polls. And in the battleground states, she's winning slightly right within the margin of error or slightly outside in most of the battleground states. And there are a couple ones, Pennsylvania, it's a big one, that suggests a tie. But the trend line keeps moving in Kamala Harris's direction. So again, the polling data, and here we are 10 weeks before the election, the polling data now also backs up the prediction by historian and political scientist Allan Lichtman that Kamala Harris will beat Donald Trump. Whether the victory of Kamala Harris is accepted by Donald Trump, well, Allan Lichtman and a lot of other people don't have a prediction for that. And one could argue that maybe if it's close, Donald Trump's not going to accept the results, and a sizable number of Americans won't accept it either. We'll be back to the same situation we had 4 years ago with court challenges and legal ramifications. But based on all the polling data, based on the predictive factors underscored by Allan Lichtman, Kamala Harris will win the popular vote. She will win the Electoral College. She will be the next president of the United States, the first female president in U.S. history.